Hello, I'm Brigante of Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Sunday and welcome to the Havamal, where we examine one verse per week, and this week we are focusing on verse 17. And as always, we will begin with three different translations. We begin with Olive Bray, and she's put it this way: A fool will gape when he goes to a friend, or mumble only or mope, but pass him the ale cup, and all in a moment the mind of that man is shown. And now for the Hollander translation. When he meets friends, the fool gapes, is shy and sheepish at first. Then he sips his mead, and immediately all know what an oaf he is. And then third, the Cowboy Havamal by Jackson Crawford, because I am falling in love with this rendition. It makes the meaning of these things so plain. But he writes, I'll say another thing about drinking. I swear I'm nearly done. But just you think how dumber a dumb man is after a few drinks. Who ever heard more awful bullshit? I just like the way he phrased that. So, this verse, as we are looking at it, first I think what stands out is that when we are sober, we are more conscious of our limitations. All of us have thoughts that are probably best kept within the privacy of our own minds. And when we aren't drunk, it's much more likely that those thoughts won't be spilled out into the world, wreaking who knows what kind of havocs, or exposing our general ineptitude. If we're going to be overly plain spoken about something, it's much better for that to be a conscious choice and be done for a reason, and not be happen and consequence of being too deep in our cups and saying goodness knows what. And this isn't merely a matter of learning the art of tact. People who are sober are much more likely to pick up on social cues and consequently be able to realize what is or what is not going to be suitable. And sometimes the appearance of shyness isn't a sign that someone needs to be drawn out of their shell, but it's an indication that someone hasn't yet learned how to behave in company. Quiet observation and gradually working our way into a group may be a more helpful process than over-drinking and losing all inhibition. And given the prevalence of social anxieties and having a general lack of social skills for a variety of reasons, it's the way our society's been evolving. I think this is good for all of us to keep in mind, because everyone at one point or another experiences social awkwardness, but of course all the trends and the way we've been living our lives that makes those occasions much more frequent. So being consciously aware that we are needing to overcome this as an obstacle might serve us well. Next, alcohol is a revealer of truth, including the truth of our own stupidity. And all of us have stupidity in our brains. Let's not pretend that we don't, because there is absolutely no shortage of dumb in the world, especially dumb ideas and dumb behaviors and dumb thoughts. And when someone is drunk, not only do they tend to think that their idiocy is actually enlightenment, they often feel the need to unburden their souls at the loudest volume possible. And there's no reasoning with someone in this condition, and good luck trying to get them to be quiet. The best you can do usually is to remove yourself from the nonsense and get out of earshot. This has further bad consequences for the drunk, because they are sowing the seeds of their own future isolation, and they may not be able to connect the dots between what happens when they're overly sloshed and then being rejected by people in general later on. So, bit to think about there. Let me know what you think in the comments below, or you can come see us on Discord at Blackbird's Brew. There is a link to join in the description box below, but I think that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!